You pick up your phone, a new message lights the screen. You glance at the words. Something doesn't look quite right. The letters seem slightly blurry. Almost without thinking, you move the phone farther away. Suddenly, every word becomes perfectly clear. You shrug and keep reading. It doesn't seem important. Life goes on as usual. Days pass without another thought. Then it happens again. This time, you're reading a restaurant menu. You stretch your arm a little farther. The words snap back into focus. Maybe the lighting is just bad. A few weeks later, it happens again. Now it's the label on a medicine bottle. Then it's a price tag in a store. Then it's the back of a food package. Without realizing it, you've started a new habit. Everything with small letters moves farther away. Your phone, your books, your menus, anything with tiny print. Eventually, the same joke pops into your head. Maybe my arms are getting shorter. Millions of people laugh about that joke. Many have said those exact words, but hidden inside that joke is something else. A quiet realization. Something has changed. Not your phone, not the lighting, not the words on the page. Something inside your own eyes has changed. Most people reach the same conclusion. My eyesight suddenly got worse. Honestly, it feels exactly like that. 1 month you're reading without thinking. The next month you're shopping for reading glasses. It feels sudden. It feels completely unexpected. It feels like your eyes changed overnight, but that's only what you noticed. It isn't when the story began. The real change started years ago, long before your first blurry word, long before you ever noticed a problem. Hidden inside each of your eyes, something was quietly changing, so slowly that your brain barely noticed. So gradually that everyday life felt completely normal, until one ordinary day your eyes could no longer hide it, and that's when you finally realized something had changed. Imagine holding a brand new camera. The focus adjusts almost instantly. Near, far, near again, everything stays sharp. Your eyes were once able to do exactly that. Hidden behind the colored part of your eye sits a tiny transparent lens. It's called the crystalline lens. When you were young, it was incredibly flexible. Tiny muscles gently squeezed and released it. The lens changed shape in an instant, rounder for nearby objects, flatter for distant ones. The movement was effortless. You never noticed it happening. You simply looked, and everything came into focus. Reading a book, looking across the room, checking your phone, watching a sunset. The adjustment happened thousands of times every day. Without your permission, without your attention, without ever feeling tired. For years, everything worked perfectly. Then something almost impossible to notice began. The lens didn't suddenly become weak. It slowly became stiffer, year after year. Layer by layer, new fibers formed inside the lens. Older fibers stayed trapped beneath them. Unlike your skin, the center of the lens never sheds its oldest cells. Instead, they remain there for life. Each new layer presses gently against the last. The lens becomes denser, less flexible, harder to bend. The muscles around it are still trying. They're sending the same signals: pull, relax, focus. But the lens no longer responds like it once did. Imagine trying to squeeze a fresh grape. Now imagine squeezing a marble. The muscles haven't forgotten their job. The material they're working with has changed. That's why this condition has a name. Presbyopia. It isn't a disease. It isn't caused by reading too much. It isn't caused by your phone. And it doesn't mean your eyes are failing. It's simply the natural result of a lens that has been working every single day since the day you were born. For decades, your brain quietly helped compensate, making tiny adjustments you never noticed, until the lens crossed an invisible threshold. Not overnight, not in a single week, but after years of almost invisible change. That's the moment your arms seem too short, not because they changed, but because your lens finally stopped keeping up. By now, you probably understand something surprising. Reading glasses didn't create the problem. They simply revealed it. For years, your eyes quietly compensated. When they finally couldn't anymore, the blurry words became impossible to ignore. That leads to another common question. If I start wearing reading glasses, will my eyes become even weaker? The answer is no. Reading glasses don't make presbyopia progress faster. They don't make your eyes lazy. They simply place the focus where your natural lens no longer can. Think of them as a tool, not a treatment, not a cure, and certainly not the cause. Another question often follows. Can this process be stopped? Not completely. At least not with today's science. Researchers continue exploring new treatments. Some medications can temporarily improve near vision. New lens technologies are also being developed, but no solution has yet restored the youthful flexibility of the natural crystalline lens. That may sound disappointing, but there's another way to look at it. Presbyopia is one of the few changes that almost everyone is fortunate enough to experience. It means you've lived long enough for your eyes to tell the story of time, and while you can't turn back the clock, you can still protect the vision you have today. Regular eye exams, managing blood sugar, controlling blood pressure, protecting your eyes from excessive UV exposure, eating a diet rich in colorful fruits, vegetables, and omega-3 fatty acids. These habits won't make your lens young again, but they can help preserve the rest of your vision for many years to come. So the next time you catch yourself holding your phone a little farther away, don't think of it as the day your eyes betrayed you. Think of it as the moment you finally noticed a story they had been quietly writing for decades.